Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel True Crime and Trials, where I discuss true crime and trials. And the trial of the moment is the Derek Chauvin trial. Now we are on day 5. It's a very short day, just a couple of witnesses. The first one doesn't really say anything that's majorly important, but there is the second witness, and he's a lieutenant from homicide. And he confirms that police officers, including himself, have not been trained to kneel on the neck of someone who is handcuffed behind their back in the prone position. He says that would be considered deadly force. And from the moment a police officer handcuffs someone, they are that person's responsibility. They have a responsibility for their care, for their safety and for their well-being. And he says once the person is cuffed, the threat level goes way down. And also when someone becomes less combative, that person isn't so much of a threat. So despite being trained in all this, it's kind of common sense. Do you know what I mean? There was 4 of them. It wasn't just one lone police officer trying to calm George down. Do you know what I mean? There was 4 of them. And he was handcuffed behind his back, and at one point he was sat down. He was willing to count to 3 and just try and find, basically he was trying to find a way of getting in that car without causing too much bother. And he speaks about the prone position. He says once you have handcuffed a person, they should be taken out of that position ASAP because it restricts breathing. And he explains, like, you've got your hands handcuffed behind your back, it's stretching your muscles, which is, you know, not making it easy to breathe. And then on top of the fact you're in the prone position, and then you've got 4 police officers holding you down and 1 on your neck. That's just common sense. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't do that to someone, because you kind of know that won't be a good thing. And he says officers are also trained to give medical care like CPR. He says the force used on George was totally unnecessary, uncalled for, and he saw no reason as to why they might have thought they were in danger. So with this witness, you knew after the state's questioning which way Mr. Nelson was going to go, but try as he might to try and find any loopholes or any other explanations as to why the officers did what they did. You know, they knew. They've been trained. The fact still remains that they had already handcuffed George behind his hands behind his back, then put him in the prone position and did so for too long. It just the witness didn't see the crowd as an uncontrollable threat. He says it shouldn't matter about the crowd if they aren't attacking you, and shouldn't have an effect on the officer's actions. So all this talk of them being an angry mob, from another officer's perspective, they weren't a major threat, and anyone can see that in the footage. And he says it is well known that the prone position is dangerous. So yet another professional police officer saying what they did was wrong. They have been trained to do otherwise, to know what's wrong, to know what would happen if they did that. And I think a lot of these police officers are finding it hard to understand why they did what they did and why he knelt on him for over 9 minutes. It's just common sense. You don't need a lot of training to have common sense. So we're at the end of the week, a very emotional and hard week. I'm glad for the weekend and having a bit of a break from it before they start again on Monday. It's very full on, isn't it? A lot to take in. So yeah, I will see you guys on Monday. So until then, have a nice weekend, happy Easter, and I will see you on Monday. Bye for now.